What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe. We're here about to take a little walk over to Luke's, get the SD card filled up with more movies and TV shows, you know, for the downtime. It's always good to be able to watch something that you haven't seen in a while. I know I got some movies coming up that they're oldies, but what I call goodies. Some of my favorites that I haven't seen in a very long time. So I'm looking forward to that. And today I'm going to be talking about giving you guys some information on what you should pack for coming over to Cambodia, both as a tourist and if you're coming over here long term. Because once this country starts opening, you know, things might move a little fast. And the more you know, the better off you'll be, so you don't have any of that last minute panic attacks. Again, you can learn from some mistakes I made, and hopefully it helps you out. But all of these details I go into throughout the course of my channel, 3.5 years, I've covered almost everything about moving to Cambodia. But what I'm going to do is, and what I am doing, is putting more detailed information on every aspect in my weekly exclusive videos every Sunday, called Sunday Stuff with Dave. Next week we're going to cover banking and how that works here, including transfers of money. Should you keep your old bank account back home? Should you just get a new one here and forget about it? What about the fees? I'm going to cover all that in detail. And you can get in on that. All of my supporters, they get a weekly email, or if they're part of my Patreon, it's uploaded on Patreon. And every week on Sunday, I upload a new one. And I cover the subjects and topics that people want to hear about. I already got my next two already planned out, which is really good. I want people to give suggestions, and I'll do what I can to make them happen. But if you're not on that email list, then it's really simple. All you have to do is donate. There are links down below to my PayPal, buymeacoffee.com, or you can join my Patreon. And once you do any of those things, you'll be on the list, on the good person list, the nice list, to receive all my exclusive content, including my weekly videos, my books, information and news, and more. So be sure to check that out down below. If you're planning on moving here, you don't want to miss out. All right, first of all, I'm glad to say the curfew in Siem Reap is done for the moment. At least right now. A couple days ago, they announced that it's lifted, it's done. No more curfew. Yeah, buddy. Which is really nice. Of course, the only reason it really affected me was when I was doing things like going over to Luke's and playing video games. And at some point we would just have to leave without getting as much done as I wanted to in said game. You know, because we had to get back for the curfew. We live, you know, all the way across town. But other than that, the curfew wasn't that bad. You know, most locals here are really, you know, early to bed, early to rise kind of people. So once it gets dark, things quiet down. I mean, in the last few days, I have not noticed any significant increase in traffic in my area after dark than normal. Because like I said, the curfew didn't really affect it that much. This is the way we normally go. It looks like we're going to have to go up one more. We got some road work going on. But yeah, it's nice that it's over. Overall, cases in Cambodia are going down, even in the provinces. Cambodia is at 90% of their goal on how many of the population to get vaccinated. They're hoping to be at 100% in just a couple weeks. And according to the article I read, there are only 500,000 short of vaccinating every young person between the ages of 12 and 18. Another initiative they started a month or two ago. And so yeah, those numbers are significant and looking really good. And then of course there will be a booster shot of the Western vaccine. That's already rolling out, and apparently 600,000 people have already received their first, and maybe only booster shot that they need for the Delta variant that's been plaguing most of the world, and here is no exception. That's the one thing they're really worried about, is controlling that, making sure people aren't exposed. Now the bad thing about the curfew being over is that the restrictions are still in place as far as, like, you know, museums, cinemas, beer gardens, bars. There's still a ban on alcohol sales, still a ban on gathering for the purpose of drinking alcohol, and in groups of more than 10. Restaurants are still open, but only if they follow the protocol for dine-in, but you can always get it to go or delivered. So really, even though the curfew is over, you don't have to worry about being home by 9. There's not much to do here until all those other things open, you know. So, like I said, it didn't really affect us much at all. But boy, that rain we had last night did. Look at that. Look at this over here. Oh, let me get over there. Yeah, lots of mud. Big rainstorm last night. Late at night too. It was like 10 o'clock when it started, and it didn't let up for a couple of good hours. So cooled things down. And all the ecosystem got the moisture it needed. So that's good news. But anyway, if you're coming over here, what should you pack? Well, if you're a tourist, it's pretty easy. You're coming over here on vacation. You're checking out the sites. In case you don't know, once they allow tourists back in, if it doesn't change, I haven't heard anything about them changing the visa rules and regulations once they open the country back up, but we'll see. But right now you can get a tourist visa, which is good for 1 month. And you may expand that by 1 month. Extend it, I mean, by 1 month. If you want to, before you gotta get out. So you could have up to 2 months. So just pack whatever you're going to need to be comfortable. Keep in mind, if you're coming to Siem Reap, you're probably going to want to go to some of the temples and go see Angkor Wat and other things. So keep this in mind, especially the ladies. You have to dress very conservatively when going to these places of worship. Don't wear halter tops or things that show your whole arms. You know, your shoulders have to be covered. Can't be showing cleavage. If you're wearing a skirt, it has to go below the knees. And all that kind of stuff. Men, kind of the same. You can't just go in without a shirt. And they prefer that you wear long pants or shorts, again, that go below the knees. Just as a show of respect to the culture and the way they do things here. So you definitely want to bring some conservative kind of dress and, you know, clothes for that. We plan on going there, but otherwise, if you're a tourist, you know, shorts, halter tops, flip flops. One good pair of dress clothes, you know, for just if you want to go out someplace fancy and feel like you're living it up a bit, get all dressed up. Whatever people do, I don't know about that. I just don't go to them places that they require a tie. but you know, have fun. So that one's pretty easy. Now if you're coming over here to live, of course you want to double up on that. The same rules apply at the temples, but you're more likely to find the clothes you need here than you are. I mean, you can find them back home, but you can find them here. If you need room in your suitcase, if you don't plan on bringing a whole lot, trying to find ways to decrease the load, try to avoid bringing anything that you can get here. Now, I will say this. These things are really expensive over here, so you might want to bring them from home because they're cheaper to buy. That would be sunblock. You're going to need sunblock. Protect yourself from the UV rays. Some kind of antifungal, antibacterial cream. I use Sudocrem. I got 4 containers of those for, I think, I don't know, $8 or something. I forget the exact amount. I found them on eBay. Had them shipped to me before I left. I still got a lot of it left. Also bought 3 bottles of the highest amount of mosquito repellent with the highest amount of DEET legally allowed in my state that I was in. And I still got some of that. And also, you know, maybe a box of, maybe a first aid kit with a box of Band-Aids or something. Because even though you can find them here at most pharmacies, they're not that expensive. It won't take up that much room or weight in your suitcase. And you'll be prepared. So bring that, and of course, you can buy toiletries here, but most people travel with a little toiletry bag anyway, so, you know, pack all that, toothbrush, comb. You know, if you're traveling a long distance like me, it took me like, 36 hours to get here. Maybe a small bottle of deodorant so you don't stink up the whole plane, you know, if you get a little sweaty there. But other than that, you can find all your, you know, all your grooming needs here. Well, like I said, those things tend to be a little bit more expensive here than back home, so take a stock of those with you. Save yourself the trouble later. As far as clothes go, you can find clothes here that will fit a Western person in most sizes. If you're a larger person, you will have difficulty finding those. It is possible, but there are a couple specialized stores here that sell specifically Western style bigger type clothes for men and women, but I don't know if they're still open. I don't know if they're out of business because of, you know, the pandemic. I don't know if they're even around anymore. So if you're a bigger size person, definitely pack more. A few more pair of shorts. A few more, you know, if you're going to wear t-shirts or short sleeve button downs, pack a few more of those. Laundry here is very cheap. Most places don't have a washing machine. You can go to any laundromat, you can get a 1 kilo of clothes done for 50, 75 cents. So it's not that expensive. Bring enough for a week and you should be good. Bring a good pair of flip-flops, because some of the ones they sell over here are not of really good quality. Bring a good pair of flip-flops. Bring a good pair of dress shoes if you plan on going out, you know, occasionally, or if you plan on teaching, especially, bring yourself a pair of good, comfortable dress shoes and dress clothes. If you plan on teaching, button-down long sleeve shirts if you're a man, with a tie, khaki pants, belt, shoes, black dress socks. bring a couple sets of those. And like I said, you can buy the rest when you get here. They also have tailor shops here that will custom make you a suit for really cheap, like less than $100. So if you want to hop on that, you can. I've never had one done, so I can't speak for the quality, but price is going to depend on how much material and what kind of material you choose. But that's always an option. Ladies, bring a few conservative dresses if you plan on teaching. If you're coming over here to retire or do anything other than teach, you don't really have to worry about that. You can find dress clothes here. In that case, you just want to concentrate on your comfort clothes. And let me say a word about socks. You can find socks easily here. Not hard to find. But they're usually those one size fits all. They're little anklet socks. And the quality is not that great. So you'll find yourself having to replace them over and over again. So if any of the clothing items I've talked about are important, socks are even more important. Bring a lot of socks. Dress socks and regular old white socks. And underwear, same way. Sometimes it's hard to find underwear that fits your particular lower region mode. So, yeah, bring socks, bring underwear, and all of your comfortable clothes. Man, I got a lot of music here going on. This is, I know they're trying to get customers, but they're just driving me away. It's like, I'm not going to go into some place where I have to hear that even louder at this point. But yeah, socks and underwear and a good pair of tennis shoes, good pair of flip-flops, good pair of dress shoes. And if you're a regular, normal-sized person, you're not obese, then there are places around here, both local and Western-style stores, where you can find clothes to fit you. Pretty affordable, and you won't have a problem. The thing is, I really stressed when I started packing because I had tons and tons and tons of t-shirts, you know, with all my favorite bands, some of my favorite movies, all my cult, pop culture reference shirts, you know, and I packed way too many, way more than I needed, and I always regretted that because I hardly wear them anymore. Part of the fun. Loud blasting music over there, loud noisy truck over here. Woo! Gotta love it. But yeah, I brought way too many clothes with me. I just crammed my suitcase full of as many as I could because I figured I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I can buy there. If I can buy them in the same style, they're gonna fit me. And I found out even for me, and I was a bit overweight. I think I've lost like 35 pounds since I've been here. But I still found clothes that fit me. So like I said, unless you're a larger person, you should be fine. You don't have to worry about it. Because you don't want to be wheeling around or dragging around a heavy suitcase through various airports, having to hope that it shows up at your destination, you know, all that good flying stuff. So yeah, that would be my recommended packing list. And trust me, everything else you'll figure out once you get here. All right, that'll do it for this one. Thank you guys for liking. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And be sure to share this on all your social medias. Let other people in on the action. Also, all my links are down below. Links to my PayPal, buymeacoffee.com, my Patreon. I love my supporters. You guys are great. Thank you for those that have already donated and supported. You guys are freaking awesome. And I love you guys. Also, my social media is down below, and links to other channels vlogging in Cambodia. Links to my books, t-shirts, and things like that as well. All right. Hopefully we'll get there before it rains. The sky is looking dark, my friends, but we'll see. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.